Google has launched Gemini 2.5 Flash model, and they are going in perfect sync with OpenAI's new model releases. And there are two cool factors about this Gemini 2.5 Flash which stands out as a highlight. The first one is this is an hybrid thinking model, which means you can literally control if you want this particular model to answer without thinking or control the level of thinking. So that's really amazing. And the next one is cost. So when compared to all the other models in its range, this particular model comes so cheap, and it also has a 1 million context length. So this is what I was talking to you about. The price, as you can see, the input price is about only 15 cents per million tokens. And look at the comparison. Grok 3 beta costs $3, DeepSeek R1 55 cents, Claude 3.7 Sonnet $3, OpenAI's O4 Mini $1 10 cent. And the output price is also so cheap. As I told you earlier, right, this comes in two modes, the reasoning or the thinking mode, or the no reasoning mode. So with no reasoning, just 60 cents, and with the reasoning it costs around $3.50. So which is also so cheap when compared to the other models like DeepSeek, OpenAI. So that's really amazing. And when compared to the other benchmarks like humanities last exam, this particular model performs very well compared to Claude 3.7 Sonnet as well as DeepSeek R1. But it's just, quite a bit less when compared to O4 Mini. But I guess in the future, like Gemini 3.0, they are going to like catch up with that also. There isn't a huge gap between 4.0 Mini and 2.5 Flash, like very slight differences over here also in the coding bench as well as the mathematics. So if you want to choose a model that gives you near results of OpenAI's O4 Mini with a lesser price, you can literally go for this one. So now let's try this model with some prompts as well as some LeetCode problems. So to access it, there are two ways. You can just go to the Gemini chat interface, and here you'll be having the 2.5 Flash model. And if you go to Google AI Studio, here you'll be having the 2.5 Flash. We are having a separate section. I'm really glad they made this interface, because before that it was everything under one drop down, which was hard to navigate, but we are having the 2.5 and stuff. So 2.5, we are having 2.5 Flash over here. And this is what I told you earlier. You can just customize the thinking. For example, if I don't enable this thinking mode, it will directly give us the output without any reasoning. If we enable the thinking mode and set this thinking budget, as you can see, we can control the level of thinking. Here it clearly says, set how much the model should think. If 0 tokens, the model won't be thinking at all. Like as you can see, it just goes off, the thinking mode is off. And if I set this, the higher the value I set, the more it's going to think for that particular prompt. So these are the stuff. So I'll just go with higher thinking mode, like because the more it thinks, the more higher chances that it's going to give us a better result. So now let me just test with some of the prompts. And first one, this is going to be it, like HTML, CSS, JavaScript code for a ball that is bouncing inside a rotating rectangle, and it should be affected by gravity and friction. This is a tricky prompt, like, so let's just go what it can do for this, and I will just run. So it has given me the response, and that took nearly more than 2 minutes since I gave it like the highest thinking capability. And let's now just copy and run this code. So this is the output that I am getting. That's not bad. It has the gravity as well as the friction. The only issue is at some cases the ball is like going outside the interface itself, because I have clearly mentioned that it should be rotating only inside the rectangle. And yeah, this time the gravity is working, but sometimes the ball is literally going against the gravity. So I would rate it like a 80%, like the 20% is missing. So let me just go with the next prompt, and this is going to be the rain effect created by HTML, JavaScript and CSS. After this I will be going with some LeetCode problems. So I'll just go with this one. So we are having the raining effect. That's pretty good, but I don't see any lightning effect. So as you can see in the prompt, I want the rain with lightning effect, but here I don't see any lightning effect. So that's fine. Let me just now go with some LeetCode problems. So I'm going with this particular medium problem. So I'll just like copy the stuff and put it here and ask it to give the code in Java. So it has given me the code. Let me just submit this, and it has passed all the tests. Like as you can see here, 631/631 test cases passed, and it also beats 77% of all the other users in runtime as well as 55% in memory. So that's really amazing, because this being a medium problem with very low acceptance rate, so it's kind of like hard in terms of the medium criteria also. So now let me just go with direct hard problem, and it has given me the wrong answer for one of the test cases. Like, there were about 54 test cases and it passed 48. That's also quite impressive, because this is an extremely difficult problem and it also had a very low acceptance rate, like 15% odd some acceptance rate. So it's an extremely difficult problem, but it has also managed to solve this much. So that's quite impressive. It's quite good in programming also. So do try it out and let me know, guys, what you feel about this model. That's the video, guys. Check the playlist, run a lot of videos in programming and AI tools. Subscribe me. Thanks for watching.